Hey, okay, so we are back, and today we are working on Falling Leaves Overture, which is the Life Chronicles, Life is a Poem. I don't know which of these is actually the title of the event, but it's this. I don't know how long this quest is, it doesn't tell me how many acts, but it starts right over there. There's also a behemoth behind this rock, apparently. We're gonna leave you alone over there. But oh, I thought that was a behemoth laying down there. I'm going to assume it's going to be a old behemoth. I don't remember what their names are, but the ones that sleep all day, because that was what the loading screen had. And today when I opened the game, I talked about last time seeing the loading screen when I got on, and thinking that's kind of where I got my predictions of us raising a baby behemoth. But the baby behemoth actually is in those photos, and he is just as tiny as we saw on the event page. One of these had a picture of him, right? Here. Yeah, look at how little, tiny, like, cute this baby is. And they're also not brown, like the other baby behemoths, which is weird. So I guess they're white, then they turn brown, then they turn back white. Which is interesting. But, something else I've been thinking about. I need to save up a lot of money to start actually buying things in the Heart of Infinity. And I wanted to really quick buy the thing that gives me the bow energy recharge right here, because I've been really wanting this. So let me just real quick buy this before we get started. So now you have 4 bow energy. And was there another I really needed right now? Oh yeah, I wanted this Whim Shadow. So let's buy that real quick. A Whim Shadow. We'll see what that ends up being. I'm not going to be able to fully upgrade this, though. So I'll buy this next, I guess. And then, do I have enough money to... Oh, this is Sea of Stars. Wishfield. I need these very badly. Most important is... Oh, I forgot. I haven't even done those. I've only done fishing so far. So I have to use stamina on this and stamina on getting money, which is rough. Blue shoes, I'll take it. Ooh, like split dress? Ooh, I know we talked about this one when we first unlocked this. I remember this. It's interesting. Give me this. Basically, I need to farm for the Silvergale Aria. And that's not important, but I will save up to get this. I have to remember to get my inspiration stuff so I can get that. I can't get any of the Silvergale Aria stuff here because it's all essence I can't get, which is a disaster. I can work on these, but stamina's a problem. So, I think we're all ready to go. I have all of my stuff now, so I can do this and waste it all anytime I misclick my keyboard without being too worried. The real thing is that I can sprint like crazy now. Right now, for the cinematic experience, I'm walking. That's why I'm also not transforming into a big girl. Oh, we're gonna talk to people. I thought we were just gonna walk up to a baby
Nikki,
behemoth.
I think I see Ada up ahead. We
Oh!
found her. We should tell her that Hilsetti's looking for her.
That does remind me, when we logged in, I didn't see it in the moment, but we got a message from someone. It probably was Hilsetti. Miss Nikki, I am Hilsetti. There's an urgent matter right now, and I'd like to ask for your help. What happened? Hello, Hilsetti. What happened? You remember Captain Ada from the expedition team? She was standing on a rock last time, right? I have no idea how she got up there. We haven't been able to reach her. She hasn't replied to any of our parapal messages we sent, and the materials she needs to confirm are almost at their deadline. The guild's been extremely busy lately, Miss Nikki. You're the only stylist I can get in touch with right now. Could I trouble you to help search for Ada? She went to the Forest of Slumber not long ago, and she may still be somewhere nearby. No problem. Leave it to me. I think it's good that they don't force you to read these messages to do a quest, but I wish it was a little... I wish there was, like, a thing over here that was, like, optional check your messages or something. Because I actually forgot about that until they said that line just now. Because I do like reading those. I did also, just now, when I opened that, see that I had a friend request. Add. Allay J? Is that what it was? Allay J. Cute. I still don't use rotated shots because they make me sick, but it is definitely a cute picture. It looks like she's like laying on a rock in the forest. It looks like these two are actually of a similar height, which is an interesting effect. I don't know why I feel that. I think it's because there's not grass that's very obviously poking up here that would create kind of the effect. I actually can't look at that too long. Even though it's a tinier picture, it's actually still messing with my vertigo. Another respect for someone who also has very little outfits. I think I just recently hit 50% on mine. Yeah, I am already back down. I have no Momo outfits, though. Everyone else on my friends list has a million pieces of clothes. Hello, Ada. What are you doing over here? Oh. There we go.
To fall into eternal sleep, but my research, it's not finished. I haven't gotten to tell its story yet.
Is this the same behemoth we did for the other quest, where we actually met the behemoths and learned about the ones that go off to lay down and sleep and die? Because I feel like it was in this area.
Everything will fade into silence. There's no time. It's too late.
Are you okay, Miss Ada? What do you mean, it's too late?
And how long is a behemoth lifespan? Because I would say there's probably like 30 to 50 behemoths in the world. That would be my current guess. But they might be an extremely, extremely long-lived species, or they could be just like 1 to 200 years old. I don't know. So I don't know how rare it is that one will pass away like this.
Oh, the girl and her furry friend. Please excuse me.
You don't remember my name, Ada? Actually, last time we met, I think you didn't know I was the priestess. You just knew me as Nikki, right?
I'm quite all right. I've just finished reading this poem, and my heart feels a bit heavy.
A poem?
You haven't read it? That might be for the best. Perhaps the gods wish to spare you from this sorrow.
The folks we passed earlier. Did this poem make them sad too? Farewell and the forest of slumber. Are those quotes from it or something?
I saw there was people on the path over here. I didn't know they were from this quest. I thought these were just people who were in the forest doing forest things. I didn't realize they were part of this. Obviously, this group I knew were all here with Ada.
The forest of slumber is on the edge of Elderwood Forest. It's the behemoth resting grounds. The farewell is about sending off the behemoths. I'm sorry, I can't help but cry when I think about it.
Behemoths? Aren't they dangerous? How could everyone...
Just think about how much people love dinosaurs, Momo. If they're dangerous or not, that's not the important part.
Miss Ada, could you show me the poem?
Oh, of course. Things might make more sense once you read it.
The land grows tired, its time draws near. As stars fade and fall, the forest's song we hear. The withering blossoms, entrusted to time, feed our sprouting hopes, come rain or come shine. This poem, it's so sad and hopeful at the same time. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Let the fallen leaves write the prologue of your parting. Though this movement was long foretold, though, like you, I have never feared the shadow of death. Land grows tired, its time draws near. As the stars fade and fall, the forest song we hear. The withering blossoms entrusted to time feed our sprouting hopes, come rain or come shine. So, I assume this withering blossom is just old behemoth, sprouting hopes is new behemoth. I don't know, the forest song might just be like that the animals of the forest, because I've said this before, I think last episode, I thought we heard the wolves congregate around dying behemoths. Because wolves are also a species where, when they're about to die, they leave the pack. They just walk off somewhere. They find a place that won't inconvenience their pack, and then they lay there to die. which is similar to what these behemoths are doing. Let the fallen leaves write the prologue of your parting. Though this movement was long foretold, though like you, I have never feared the shadow of death. It's not the thing like they all die in fall or something. I guess it's possible. Like maybe when they're old enough that they can't really survive, they don't make it through winter, so they just accept death in the fall of the final year, so they all die around that time. It's interesting. And who wrote this poem that was this close to behemoths?
I agree, Nikki. But it seems like everyone's only focusing on the sad parts and overlooking the hopeful ones.
The separation between the living and the dead is incredibly painful. A small spark of hope feels too fragile to bridge it.
The separation. I suppose you're right. Just thinking about it makes my heart feel heavy. Maybe that's why the once terrifying behemoths seem a bit gentler in our memories.
I've always thought they were gentle, except the one in the Colosseum.
That's right. It's a pity I didn't have a chance to get to know it properly. That fur, pure as snow. Under the sunlight, it must have been so. That day, I even told Lee that if I ever got the chance, I'd touch it myself and feel that softness firsthand.
Miss Ada.
A behemoth's rest is a long and poetic farewell. If you're curious, you can go see for yourselves in the Forest of Slumber. Oh, right. I'm getting ahead of myself. What brings you here?
Oh, yeah, our mission. Hilsetti said that the guild has a super important document that needs your signature. He hasn't been able to reach you, so he asked Nikki and me to find you.
Oh, I was so heartbroken I had forgotten to reply to him. I'll head to the guild and find him.
Let's head to the Forest of Slumber, Nikki. We can hear the forest song, just like the poem says.
I wonder if the forest song is the cries of the baby behemoth? Is that what we're going for here? I will definitely be petting Big Boy.
Where did this glimmer come from?
This?
Looks like there's a cabin up ahead. I think the glimmer is heading straight for it. Let's follow it, Nikki.
What? What is this? A cutscene. Oh, they're actually, like, moving.
Wait a sec. Was that cabin?
Yeah, I do not remember
I
it.
don't remember seeing it before.
We've definitely been here. Leading us to a book? The origin of the
The
poem,
glimmer
maybe?
landed on that book. Hold on. Is that...
A collection of poems?
Melotti? Huh. I think that must be who owns the book. But why just leave it here?
Melotti. Oh,
It went inside?
right as I changed scenes, I clicked. Right as it changed scenes, that's why we skipped that.
The
But it was just the guy
land grows
flying in.
tired. Its time draws near.
Yup, it is the poem.
As stars fade and fall, the forest's song we hear.
But what is the little floaty
Hold on.
boy?
Momo, doesn't this sound exactly like the poem Miss Ada gave us?
Nikki! Ah!
Oh, we're being sucked inside? Oh, Lulico version 2? We're having a storybook? After long summer, quest accepted. It looks, more vibrant where we are, but I think we're still in the overworld. I think we've just moved down the road. Yes, we were right here. We moved down the road. So the Forest of Slumber is just a more vibrant, colored place. No, I want to be tiny.
This place. Momo? Momo?
Greener than usual.
I'm okay, Nikki. What happened? How did we end up here all of a sudden? Oh, that glimmer.
Let me go. I have to see the Frostburrow behemoth.
Frostburrow.
It's dying. I won't be in danger, I promise.
That's definitely
Please,
Frostbow, not
let me
Burrow.
go.
Frostbow behemoth? Momo, let's go take a look.
We have seen him before, I think. I think this is the one we pet. I'm pretty sure. Oh! A bard. Like the 4-star outfit, but dressed more naturally in an outfit that makes sense here.
The fading of life. It feels so heavy. Just knowing we can only stand by and watch it slip away. Powerless to do anything. I can't help but...
We should be grieving at a time like this. We ought to show some respect for those who have passed.
What's a bard doing here at a time like this? Just singing and playing like nothing's happened?
Do you have no idea what bards are? What are you talking about, frowning scholar? Like, isn't that kind of where you would expect to see a bard, almost?
I mean, the lyrics sound like a mourning song for the Frostboro behemoth, but shouldn't that melody feel a bit more somber?
Situationally, I guess. Like, playing at a funeral? Yes. This isn't a funeral, though. But, I don't know, because there's a couple ways to do it. Obviously, like, the big thing is that funerals themselves, even, you'll have more upbeat music a lot of the time, because it's a celebration of life. It's a little more complicated for, like, a deathbed mourning, but this isn't being played in proximity to the behemoth. The behemoth's not hearing the bard. This is the people around. And I assume the lyrics, since they said the lyrics are mournful, it's still an appropriate thing for the bard to be doing. I think you guys just don't know the value of music in life.
Maybe everyone's mood is rubbing off on me. Now my heart's aching.
Mine too. But that bard seems to be having a pretty different reaction, don't you think? Let's go talk to her.
The optimistic scholar, the dissuading scholar, and the excited scholar. So I assume the dissuading one is just stopping the excited one from running over there.
Just let me go, please. I have to see it just one more time. This is my last chance. Hey, calm down, will ya? You can't just rush into the forest of slumber. Who knows what's lurking in there along the Frostboro behemoth?
Everyone's saying Frostboro, except Nikki, who says Bow.
Don't be sad. This is just the natural order of things. It's the circle of life. Maybe it'll find some peace this way.
Its life seems pretty peaceful. I assume it's in pain, but I guess it depends why it's dying, because it is just laying down in the forest until death. I don't know if it's planning to die of dehydration or starvation, or if it has some underlying thing that will kill it before that. I don't know.
This is the Forest of Slumber? Sorry to interrupt, but do you know if the Frostbow behemoth lives in the forest up ahead?
It does. The Frostbow behemoth is nearing the end of its life. You'll find it resting in the Forest of Slumber, right in a sea of flowers. Poor thing's just lying there, waiting out its final moments.
Also, I'm also part of the problem for the pronunciation. Some guys are saying Frostboro. I was saying Frostbow. Nikki's saying Frostbow. I don't know what's correct. I think Frostbow probably is. Nikki tends to have pretty good pronunciation, because I assume they put extra care, obviously, into vocal instructions for her. So, I'm going to go with Frostbow from now on.
In my opinion, I think it's just preparing for its next adventure. Nothing bad, just a long, peaceful slumber ahead, you know?
What is, end of life and afterlife beliefs? Do I know how anyone feels about that? Like the Wishfield people, the Eastland people? I know that the Feyre sprites had the ceremony we did with the Sovereign of Fresh. What about humans, though? PCs, I think they kind of... We know that they can live on in the fabric after death, partially, but I don't think they have, like, any form of afterlife belief that we know of. Anyone, except maybe Feyre sprites, if you call it that. Because they go to be with the Wishing One, so they have, like, their own form of, like, pseudo-afterlife. I don't know if we've seen any indication of that from Itzaland. To know if they believe in reincarnation, if they believe in, like, some form of oblivion. I don't know. Because the way they speak, at least one of them seems to believe in a form of afterlife or reincarnation. Hello, Miss Bard.
We are like the intertwining streams of the forest, shining, shimmering in the dawnlight light. Teardrops?
She's still writing it, I guess.
I think teardrops works better. Like trembling dewdrops in the morning light. It keeps the poem's airy rhythm while adding a touch of gentle sorrow.
We are like the intertwining streams of the forest, shining, shimmering in the dawn light like teardrops.
Teardrops. Teardrops. You're right! It does fit. Thank you, miss. Oh, and your little round companion, too. Are you also here to bid it farewell?
What do you mean by it?
What a strange wording of this. Is Momo implying that we need to know its pronouns, or is it or did you forget we're here for the behemoth, Momo?
Oh, you must be passing through, I take it. Or stylist, perhaps? Such a shame. The Forest of Slumber isn't exactly the best place to find inspiration.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna make an event outfit this episode or next episode. I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna be inspired by the forest and the behemoths.
Momo and I came here for the Frostbow Behemoth's slumber, but we've run into some strange things that we don't quite understand.
That's right. We planned to come straight here, but we saw this cabin right near the Forest of Slumber. We found this strange poetry collection inside, and before we knew it, we were here.
Nikki, Momo, a small cabin, a strange poetry collection. Well, whatever the case, since we're all here for the Frostbow Behemoth, that makes us friends.
I don't know if it was the intention of the line, but this starting part, I like that. Because it is kind of similar to mental tricks I use for memorization, where I'll list out things and say them aloud that I need to remember. So the idea with the conversation being that she would say Nikki and Momo to, like, check the names into her head, a small cabin, a strange poetry collection to, like, check those pieces of information into her head. I kind of do this. I don't know if it was the intent of the line to make that a character trait of her speech, but I wanted to point that out because I like that.
Please, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Melotti,
Oh.
the bard who roams this land. I am the forest's most devoted traveler.
Are you not human? Are you some kind of spiritual being? Is that why we got a book that a bunch of, like, fairy spirits potentially led us to with your name on it?
So you're Melotti. We saw your name on the poetry collection back at the cabin. The cabin? Oh, yes! I call it my verse haven. Strange. I don't recall writing any poetry up there. A bard's poems are like fallen leaves in the forest. When inspiration strikes, a few lines are left behind, and when the wind blows, they scatter and drift, each carrying the seed of a new story. But fortunately, even scattered verses are somehow woven together by the unseen threads of fate. They're like us in that way, I suppose.
I really like her voice.
That's the charm of a bard. They can turn the simplest words into something incredible. Ugh. Why can't I do that, huh?
You're better at it than me, Momo.
Well, Momo, that's quite a unique way to compliment someone. It's a shame that the behemoth's time is running so short. You would have loved it. Do you mean that Frostbow behemoth that's close to its final slumber? Yes, it loves meeting interesting people. Beings, I should say. If it knew you'd come to send it off too, it would be delighted. Wait, so those people we saw earlier were here to say goodbye to the Frostbow behemoth too?
The people we saw earlier, does it mean the ones all the way back on the trail I didn't talk to? Because everyone we've talked to here has been pretty obvious about that being their intention.
That's right. To the world, the behemoth is a mighty and dangerous creature. Only here in this quiet place can someone truly get close to it. It's almost as if it's written into their very nature. When they grow old and weary, they follow the moonlight to the forest of slumber. There they forever rest in a sea of flowers. Some come here to mourn through great works. Others sit in silent prayer. As for me, I only wish to sing it off to sleep.
I already talked about my feelings on why the song feels cheerful. It's not necessarily indicative of a lack of mourning to have a song have a cheerful melody. And it doesn't have to be the kind of funeral appreciation of life thing either. It can just be an appreciation for the moment. So let's see how she feels. I assume she's just gonna say that she's mournful but glad to be here.
It sounds like you and the Frostbow Behemoth have a pretty deep connection. How do you feel, knowing it's about to pass on? I know what you mean. The Behemoth and I are close friends, and I'm heartbroken to say goodbye. At the same time, though, who says a farewell must be filled with sorrow?
Close friends. I wonder if they come here often for inspiration, so they've sung to the Behemoth before? And that's assuming they're human, and that the thing I said earlier about them being some type of spirit because of the cabin stuff is like a red herring.
For behemoths, the final slumber is a brand new beginning. They continue to watch over the forest in a calmer, more eternal way.
So this leads me to believe that it's not reincarnation, but some form of... I guess it would be similar to Mother Terra, where upon death they fuse with the world itself, so they like become one with the trees and the grass, and exist as like a omnipresent force of life. That's kind of what I take this to mean. So maybe that's Terra Alliance belief. And I know that they don't share the level of religion. What would I phrase this as? What's the term for it? Not as many people in the Terra Alliance are religious, is what I guess I'll word it as, because I can't remember the term. But, I guess this is what their general belief is. It's not that there's reincarnation or an afterlife, but you kind of just fuse with the world and become a part of it. And then, because you're a part of the world, you see and feel all things that happen to it. That would also help to explain a more natural lifestyle where you're not as, like, industrial, because you'd feel like it would be harming your ancestors to hurt the forest. So you would naturally be like a more tribal people, which is what we've seen so far out of Terra Alliance nations. Although, to be fair, we've only seen one. So we might go into a deeper part of the Terra Alliance and we'll have like a super city and everything I just said will be a lie.
I would much rather send my friend off with joyous verse than do nothing but drown in my tears. I see.
But still, that doesn't change the fact that it's leaving, does it? We won't ever see it again, right?
But that's a common thing, Momo. You see people for the last time all the time. It's just important that when you know it's the last time you'll see them, that it's special to you, not that it continues forever.
Even so, we'll be okay. Life is a long poem, and every line deserves to be savored. Here, take this. It's a poem I wrote. May it inspire you on your journey ahead.
Oh, it automatically cut me out. That's why I scrolled. I knew. This is the baby. Look how tiny it is.
A behemoth? How did a young behemoth get here? Hey! Out of the way!
Even at that age, it probably could
there
still
was only
kill a
an
person.
old frostbow behemoth in the forest of slumber?
it followed its parent when it went to lay down in the forest, probably.
Wait a second. It's white. It's a young behemoth.
Interesting color. It looks like cabbages growing on their head. That's very silly. Look at how pink their ears are. Their face is, very flattened dog-like. It's not like a pug flat, but an in-between of a normal dog and a pug is what this makes me think of.
How interesting. Behemoth evolution is highly dependent upon the survival of the fittest. Young behemoths that turn white are typically considered weaker compared to other varieties, leaving them little chance at surviving.
And then this is where we step in, and we, as I was saying before, hopefully not bring them into human society or shroomling society, but just place them into a forest habitat that helps facilitate their growth.
This is the largest young behemoth that has turned white I've ever seen. It also appears to have survived longer than other white young behemoths. I need to record this discovery immediately.
Don't come any closer! Help me!
Watch out, Nikki! Don't worry. I'll protect you.
It's okay, Momo. By the looks of it, this seems to be a fairly young, sprout-born behemoth. It's likely much less aggressive than a fully grown one. However, it's clearly agitated. We'll need to find a way to calm it down first.
We normally calm down the Sproutborns by being big and scaring them. I don't know if I want to do that to this one. Although, it might be young enough that it's not even scared by Giant Nikki. It might be young enough that it becomes attached to Giant Nikki.
You're right. If it keeps running around like that, it might hurt itself, or put others in harm's way. Let me try.
This is Rockabye Baby.
It's no use. It's much too frightened. My poetry can only do so much.
I do not think my violin is gonna cut it here.
Wait, I think I know what's wrong. The poor thing's caked in mud. It must be uncomfortable. That might be what's making it so anxious.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? It's the perfect time to use the animal grooming outfit.
Exactly. Don't worry, Melody. We can handle this. We'll just need your help. Leave it to me. I can keep it distracted while you do the grooming. How does that sound, Miss Nikki?
Very interesting end for her instrument here, where it cuts back at 90 degrees. Little baby. Oh, crouching down. I wonder if we're only going to focus on the paw. That's probably a safe bet. It is turning away, like a decent degree, so it probably is trusting enough that we could wash its back.
Nikki, are you okay?
I'm fine, don't worry. The behemoth looked so scared while I was grooming it, but it never tried to attack me. I don't think it meant me any harm.
Maybe it was too young to be taught to hunt? Because even when you are a child, normally the animal would just bring you weakened prey, and then have you, like, finishing it off to teach you how to kill quickly. Because you have to learn it, it's not exactly instinctual. So maybe it was too young to even start receiving those lessons, and it was just reaching the age where it would be able to, like, start doing it when its mother or father passed. Or is about to pass, assuming that is it back here.
This young one is quite a bit smaller than an average sprout-born behemoth. Not only that, but it seems to have a familiar aura around it. Could it be related to the frostbout behemoth in the forest?
We need freckles like this for Nikki, by the way.
Wait, I think I know what it's trying to say. Could you repeat that? Meow. Meow, 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 meow. forest, fell over. Help?
A human went to go see the
Behemoth language
behemoth
is a
and
little
got hurt.
tricky, but I think I got the gist. It's asking us to head to the
Oh
forest
no,
and
human,
help
it
save
said.
the Frostbow Behemoth.
It was asking us, human in reference to us. So we don't know how exactly Momo does interpret language. It's possible it said, like, it said something identifying about one of us, and Momo interpreted that as human. So it caused me a bit of confusion, but I understand now what his line meant. Also, I feel like Momo's getting better at meowing. Momo's voice actress, or actor. I don't know which one it is.
Melody, do you really think the Frostbow Behemoth in the forest is beyond saving?
Is it ill, or is it just very old?
Miss Nikki, do you know why we call it the Frostbow Behemoth? Frostbow. Boughs! Is it because the horns that sprout from its head will eventually grow into the shape of tree boughs?
I do not know what a tree bough is. This conversation has now officially left me behind. Please explain. Momo, ask what a bough is.
Wow! Good eye, Miss Nikki!
I'm sorry, I'm stupid.
Sprouts symbolize new life. Every young behemoth is like a newly sprouted spring shoot, full of vibrant energy. That's why they're called sprout-born behemoths.
It's cabbages, actually.
As they grow older, the sprouts on their head grow strong, stretching into giant branches before withering away and falling off. Their fur becomes snowy white, and their towering horns spread out like branches in the wind. It's when the last flower on their branches withers away that their life comes to an end.
Interesting. So, why would that be? Because if, let's say, a tree was growing on a person, I assume it would be, like, absorbing nutrients and water from the person's body, but even after death, it would survive off of the body for a decent amount of time until the body started decomposing to the point where there weren't nutrients that it could easily get from it, and then the tree would start dying at that point. But the tree itself dies before the behemoth does. So everything on the tree is fully gone, and then the behemoth is gone. I don't know about the, like, biological way this works, I guess.
For the behemoth, this is the circle of life. For you and me, the same can also be said. We too must meet our end one day. I see. But... Melody, I still want to follow the young behemoth into the forest. What if there's still hope? Maybe the
I
Frostbow
don't think there
behemoth
is.
just sleeping. No one's ever seen it themselves, right? Everyone only knows it from that poem.
Oh, okay. I was asking this earlier about how often they die. How long do they live? Is this the first behemoth in human lifespan that has died? From natural causes, not like hunted or something? Because that is also theoretically possible, or injury.
All things have cycles, beginnings and ends, like leaves falling to the ground. It's something we can't change by will alone.
I think Nikki's insistence on saving it's a little weird. I think it's okay to accept that an animal will eventually die. The concern Nikki should have is what we're doing with the child now.
But you must follow your heart, Miss Nikki. This instinctive love for life of yours, I believe it's the most admirable thing about you. Thank you, Melody. Then, would you like to come with us? Let's go, little one.
I don't disagree about the love of life stuff being admirable and wanting to extend life as much as possible.
The forest of slumber is still the behemoth's domain. Please be careful, Miss Nikki. All right, then. I wish you luck on your journey.
Look at how cute that is.
Close your eyes. Time to rest. Time to keep the promises that we made.
Oh. As the long summer drifts away, so too shall your name in these verses, carried to the very edge of time to a further, more distant plane. I actually read it all. I did it. Oh! I didn't notice the claw mark, I guess you would call it. I was gonna say hoof print. That's not correct. Listen, don't say anything.
Growing out of the bushes? And that glimmer?
Fading summer, silent and alone, a season lost to view.
If all seems pointless, will you still pursue? If the ending's already set, would you write it all the same?
If branches weep, if joy gives way to pain.
This is...
Nikki, look! What is that?
Young behemoth. Sure, I'll take the wind whirl fruit. Wait, that's new! That's so funny. That's so funny. Okay. You have so many flowers! You're gonna live forever. You're immortal, don't worry. A gas pierces through the tire. Okay, I'm reading this off camera. That's so long. That's actually insanity, what they just put on screen there.
Momo, we came back.
What? Why is it? I actually don't know the answer to this, and I can't fathom why. Every single gacha game I've ever played in my life has those black screens with white text that appear and disappear so quickly that it's literally impossible to read them, and they don't let you click to advance. I don't know why that's a consistent thing in the entire genre. Every single game I think I've played that does the black screen white text stuff, because some games don't, every single one does this problem. If I wasn't recording right now, so I could go back and look like 40 minutes in the video afterwards, what is a person supposed to do there? They just have to accept the information the game wants to present to you is not presented to just them because they didn't have OBS open? I don't know, it's so weird.
It all happened so fast. I didn't even have time to react. Like waking up in the middle of a dream, except we weren't even asleep.
I was going to also try to look if those little floating, glowing bugs were near the behemoth, because potentially it could be like the behemoth's power that it could summon or control these little wisps. But we got teleported away before I could confirm it, and they're not here anymore. Also, the book is gone.
That silhouette we saw, that must have been the Frostbow behemoth, right? It feels like we were teleported back the moment we saw it.
Maybe it didn't want to be seen, so it sent us away? Behemoths don't have that kind of power, right, Nikki?
We've never seen a behemoth do anything related to womency, but we know Feywish sprites and PCs can be stylists. Theoretically, could a behemoth be a stylist? Do they have the mental capacity of it? I don't know what level of intelligence is required to manifest some kind of form of whim. Because Esslings do it. They have magical attacks, and they, as far as I'm aware, aren't meaningfully intelligent. The low-level ones who, like, cast balls of dark energy. And I've said before that I think whim is the same thing as this dark energy. I think they're the same force. It's just the intent behind them changes the effect they have, so evil ones cause evil power. I don't know. I think it's possible for a behemoth to cast magic, is what I'm saying.
Was it because of the poems? Or the glimmer?
Oh yeah, it might have been the glimmer. I mean, that's what brought us here in the first place, but why would it send us there, only to bring us back?
Fading summer, silent, lone, a season lost to view. If all seems pointless, will you still pursue?
A season lost to view.
Then it says, if new branches weep, if joy gives way to pain, if the ending's already set, would you write it all the same?
Joy giving way to pain, I would expect that line to be the opposite, because we're following the theme of, like, the child growing up without the parent. And the new branches weeping would be the child. Maybe just the childish joy accepting the death of their parent is what this line would mean.
Pointless. A set ending. Still pursue?
And the term a set ending does imply some type of fate. But you can also just take that as the interpretation of death being inevitable. Not exactly fate in that sense of the word, but just something that will naturally happen.
Nikki, I think I get it now.
I think I do too. It's saying that everything is in vain because the ending was written long ago. The more we struggle, the more sorrow we feel. Like tender sprouts that can never be seeds again. Or the hustle and bustle of midsummer coming to an end.
Is it talking about us trying to save the Frostbow Behemoth?
Yes. We might even end up making the young behemoth suffer more by trying to help.
What would cause the young behemoth to suffer more? Maybe the idea of leading it to believe that the older behemoth has a chance of surviving and not accepting that it's going to disappear and teaching the behemoth how to live without it. I guess that's the suffering part.
But
life is so precious, and the young behemoth was so excited to invite us into the forest. Maybe we can help it.
I wouldn't use the term excited, actually. Maybe you could describe that emotion as excited in a weird way, but it believed we would come to save the older behemoth, and it wanted us to follow it to do so, is my interpretation of Momo's translation. So that's a weird term to use.
that's right. We can't give up so easily. If we miss our only chance to help the Frostbow Behemoth, we'll regret it.
I do agree with
The
that,
boomerang's
if it's
back,
possible.
Nikki.
Oh,
It landed on that drawing paper over there.
drawing paper?
Is it because of our response? Let's go take a look.
I wonder if we're going to create a poem. After long summer. Sprigs of green. There's a pet behemoth over there? So, what was the title of this again? Life as a Poem. So one of my predictions was that it could potentially be like I think it was when we were reading the description of the 5 stars I came up with this, that it could potentially be a story about behemoths and not real ones. We know now that it is real ones. But when we first started this quest, I made the line that this would be Lulico version 2. And that might actually have been closer than I predicted. We might write the end of this story. We might try to, like, change reality through using whim to write what will happen. The idea against that, though, is this. We will end this, honestly. I think we will be raising a behemoth. And if we're saving the older behemoth, why would we then raise the little one? It's possible it could just get attached to us. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't know. This is interesting. Let's see.
It's a strong, full-grown behemoth. The way it runs through the forest is so graceful. And look over there. It looks like a girl?
She's writing the poems instead of playing her instrument, though.
There's some faint writing on the back of the paper. Looks like a few blurry lines of poetry.
Very, very tiny horns, by the way. So, very young.
Through verdant years we walked as one, where forest shade met glinting sun. Vines of light and shadow spun, and verses of our bond were sung.
Oh, we're in the book again. Oh, it teleported us past the barrier. Okay. Jump pad. I see you over there. All 4 of you. Like I said, it's a decent amount of feathers. One's gonna fall. Click. Click.
Wow.
There we go.
It looks like a snowy mountain up close. Huh. Its horns really do look like branches, don't they? And look at those tiny white flowers hanging from them.
Melotti said that when the white flowers on a behemoth's horns wither away, its life is coming to an end. If you can see them, that means we still have a chance.
I don't think... We're not gonna, like, try to regrow the tree on its head, right? Because I think that would be, like, putting a bandage on a problem that is deeper than that. Little baby. Like, sacks of food? No, it doesn't look like food. No, there is, like, flowers and stuff in there. I'm not sure. This big sack in the center. Maybe it's food. What would the things around it be, though? Because the baby behemoth can't open this. Looks like a sleeping bag, almost. Some type of food there. Plates, maybe? Big pot? I can pet you again. Your petting reset. So you're a different entity than the one we pet earlier, I think. I think it reloaded you as an entity. Maybe that's because we're in... Well, we probably are in the real world still. I'll check my map. That's interesting, though. Maybe we're not in the real world. We are. I wonder why you're a different entity, then. Let's talk to you. Every time I talk today, the game freezes. I wonder why. That's weird. Oh, like guinea pig is what that noise makes me think of, actually. Rather than, like, a... What would I consider them? Closer to bears, maybe? Is a bear the closest thing I could think of real-life animals that are currently alive to you guys? I guess? Because I don't really, even though you have horns and stuff, I don't think you're like deer. I think you are kind of just bears.
Don't worry, we're all here. Just tell us what you need us to do.
It says hello to both of us, and it wants to say thanks. It's asking if we can use these things it found earlier. These healing supplies to help Papa? It must be referring to this frostbound behemoth. Healing supplies. Oh, I think I found them. A big pile of herbs, right?
So, did Melotti bring the herbs here? How's it know these are healing supplies?
It says Papa's body isn't as warm as it usually is, and it's been sleeping a lot more. Huh? It says when Papa sleeps, he cries out in pain. It's really worried. Papa hasn't spoken to it for days. It thinks Papa might be sick. It says it's seen many humans and Troomlings before, and they all had magic jars?
Magic jars? What would a magic jar be that helped the behemoth? Maybe some type of, like, liquid food if it's having trouble digesting at the end of life?
When someone felt as bad as Papa, they'd take out something soft that smelled nice to make them get better. So it thought if it could just find similar things, Papa would surely recover. It searched all around and gathered a bunch of them.
So it did gather these.
But it doesn't know how to use them, so it needs to find someone who could help.
It remembered what healing looked like, and it's trying its very best to ease the Frostbow behemoth's pain in the only way it knows how.
So maybe it's some type of ointment is what it thought it was going to create, and it needs us to, like, pestle down the ingredients?
Good job, little one. You've done so well.
It says Papa is really important to it. Papa took care of it when it was all alone and helped the little guy survive.
Oh, was it Have we ever seen two behemoths together? I don't think so. And we don't know the gender or sex of the behemoths we see that have the children around them? So is it that they would normally stick with their mother, the mother died, and then the father, or just a different male, found the child and raised it in place of the mother? And then normally the mother and father behemoth don't stay together after, like, conception or birth? I'm not sure.
It doesn't want to lose Papa. Papa's the best in the whole world.
Basically, the way that was phrased makes me think that it's not, like, a direct thing. Because if the child was alone, that means it didn't have a mother and father and the mother died. Because it would have never called itself alone in that case.
It says it'll give all of its treasures to the person who's willing to help.
You and Papa are just like me and Momo. In human language, we call each other family. Family means that no matter what happens, we can count on each other, and we'll see things through.
True. Family sticks together. Ohana.
Keep your treasures, little one. We'll do whatever we can to help you and Papa.
No need to thank us.
Awayo-ya-ya.
Now let's take a look at these healing supplies and see if there's anything we can use.
Yeah, thank you, you're so kind. Wah, please help Papa. I want to know, the gender of our little baby behemoth here, so I can say he or she, because Momo said it earlier. Oh. Frostbow behemoth.
These leaves, aren't these the kind snails love to eat? But as medicine, they probably won't help much.
You could use them as a wrap, potentially? To, like, hold together ingredients? And what's in the actual pot? Before I check the one that's labeled there.
This jar is sealed really tight. My instinct tells me that even with all our strength, we still wouldn't be able to open it. Let's see what else is in here.
It's probably worth trying. Is it too heavy for us to lift and drop onto the rock? Maybe. If it was filled with, like, a liquid or something, it might be too heavy to even pick up. I would still probably try to smash it with a rock or something to see if we could, like, break the side to get the seal off.
Herbs, powders. These seem more promising. Nikki, what do you think?
Let's pick...
The scale of the amount we need for the body mass is pretty crazy, too. Like, this might be the ingredients to heal a couple humans? But I don't know about this. Oh, okay. Pouch filled with herbs. Bundle of dried herbs. Yellowed bandage. I don't think it's going to have a injury that's obvious enough that we need the bandage, or else I think the child would know. Clay pot filled with powder. So it's powder or herbs. The pouch and the bundle, I just think it's not going to be enough of whatever we need. So is this the powder we're talking about here? What would we use the powder for? Maybe mix it with a liquid to drink? I'm gonna click the clay pot. Let's see what it says.
How about this one? It smells really nice. Such a comforting scent.
This says rest powder. It's supposed to restore energy and help you feel refreshed. Sounds like the best option here, but...
Looks like we'll still have to figure something out ourselves. Still, maybe the rest powder can help the Frostbow behemoth sleep more comfortably and ease its pain.
Right, and it might also help calm the young behemoth. Let's take it and try it out on the Frostbow behemoth.
It is that there. The rest powder. So it's, is the term anesthetic? Is that what the stuff is that makes you, like, sleep? Isn't it called, like, anesthesia or something?
The
I
closer
don't
we
remember the
get,
terms.
the more I see just how weak the frostbound behemoth really is. Even its voice sounds tired. It says, don't be afraid, and that Papa won't hurt us.
No teeth
We're
either.
not
Its
here
teeth
to
have
hurt
fallen
you
out.
or the young behemoth. We're here to help. This is the medicine the young behemoth found. If you take it, it should ease the pain and help you rest.
Huh? It's... Huh? You don't need it. It's asking us to leave.
But yeah, like the story says, it came here with an understanding of that it came here to die. That was the intent. So I think if it is intent on dying, prolonging its life may be a form of not torture, but acting out of like selfishness rather than wanting the best for the behemoth. Because if the behemoth has accepted its death, forcing it to extend its life could be like mentally harming to the behemoth, especially a behemoth that is knowing that we know is currently in pain.
Leave? Why?
It says it's no use. It thanks us for our kindness, but it wants us to go before the young behemoth gets back. It'll tell the little one that it's already taken the medicine. It says that this is natural. It's the final stage of its life cycle. Sooner or later, every behemoth gets to this point.
I think in this case, this medicine isn't exactly a problem for the behemoth to take if it is just like a sedative to reduce the pain or something that it's currently experiencing. Because I don't think this medicine would inherently prolong its life. It might, though.
It's just worried about the young behemoth.
I did assume that we were kind of going to be left, I should have said it, that the behemoth would just entrust the child to us and then we would take it and leave. I don't know if we're going to actually witness the death or not. I think we will. I think we'll watch its final moments, but an idea I have against this is that I think this behemoth, I believe this is the one we pet before. So I think it's in the normal world outside of this quest to be pet, and I don't know if there's more Frostbow behemoths. I think there's at least one other one in the world. And I want to know that in case, because if it was the only one, let's say, it can't be removed from the game by death, because we need the materials from it to craft outfits, which is like a meta-analysis of it. I think there's at least one more, though. Oh, I thought it was like a cup of hot cocoa.
Nikki, should we...
Is it going to give us the option? I don't think it will.
Please, take this medicine and rest, Papa. I know you're worried. This way you can stay with the young behemoth for just a little longer.
Finally chose to take the powder and drifted into a sleep.
It says we're the strongest duo it's ever met, and that it'll always remember our kindness.
Seeing them snuggling together like this, I can't imagine how heartbroken the young behemoth would be if Papa were really gone.
I know. The young behemoth finally found someone like Papa. Now it might have to be all alone again.
Just like the poem says, all our efforts will be in vain.
Nikki. Why do things have to die? If no one ever died, then we could always be together. No sadness, no grief. We could just be happy forever.
We could be forever. The happy part might be a stretch. It is a common thing you'll see in stories about eternal life. That in eternal life, all value is lost. Without loss, you don't have longing. Without loss, you don't have things like regret, really. And you don't value things the way you do in life. So you wouldn't find a reason to love the way you do normally. So, I don't know. Worlds without death are complicated.
But if life never ended, how would we know the depth of our love for one another?
Yeah, that's kind of the point. Does she command them? The sprite, I mean. Honestly, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to assume it's going to disappear. If it stays on the screen until I click, I'll read it out loud. Otherwise, I'm not even going to read a line of it. I'm just going to do it after the video. So, during all of this, assume that I'm reading it post-episode. So if there's things that are super important, I'll talk about them eventually.
Glimmer sent us back to the little cabin again.
So, if this was the only time we teleported, I would assume that we weren't actually moving, and we've been in the cabin the whole time. I think because the first time we went and talked to all those people... You know what? Actually, never mind. I don't think those people were there, really. I think all of it, we've been in the cabin. I think we entered this cabin, and we read a part of a story that took us down a path where we met people who were looking after a behemoth. Now, we read the next part of the story, and it took us to the behemoth itself being healed. I think we're gonna finish in the cabin, we're gonna run over to the grove, and the behemoth's already gonna be dead, and that we were witnessing things from the past that were written in the book by Melotti. And that we were living, like, the story, not reality.
If life never ended, how would we know the depth of our love for one another? What did Melotti mean by that?
Oh, I get it. Every time we're faced with a difficult question like that, we get sent back to the cabin.
What was the question the first time when we actually walked up to the behemoth? It was the one that was written on the wall, yeah.
When we find an answer, the glimmer shows up and sends us to another story.
Yes, but where are all these questions coming from anyway? Who's giving them to us? And why didn't Melotti get sent back with us? Never mind. We've got to focus on answering the question first. Papa and the young behemoth story isn't over yet.
Death. Love's depth. Does this mean that death's existence strengthens the power of love?
It might not be that it strengthens the power of love, it might be that love can't exist without death.
I guess that sounds right, but wait. Love is a miracle all on its own.
I don't know.
Death to measure its worth.
If there is no death, why would the feeling of love exist? I guess is my idea. Because in a world where every single thing ever is eternal, there's no reason to value anything above anything else. And the idea of, like, loving a person, I don't know if it would be... It might exist, but it would exist in a different form than love does today. It would be more... flaky. It wouldn't be... It wouldn't have the depth it has today.
Just like Papa and the young behemoth. Their love was so deep, and death had nothing to do with it. They could have been happy forever. Isn't that better?
Forever. Wait, Momo. If life lasted forever, would Papa and the little one's love even exist? Papa protected the young behemoth and saved its life. That's how the two of them became each other's chosen family.
You mean, if the little one could never die, Papa wouldn't have needed to save it? They might have never gotten to love one another? And the little one trying everything they could to keep Papa alive. That wouldn't have happened either? I think I understand.
I think I do too. Life is so fragile that saving and protecting someone becomes that much more meaningful. That's why Papa rescued the little one and cared for it with such tenderness. And that's why the little one did everything it could to ease Papa's pain. Death strengthened their love, in a way. An inescapable end to a wonderful story. But that love won't die with Papa. It'll live on forever in the young behemoth's memory.
Wow. That makes so much sense now.
Maybe what we really fear isn't death itself, but that the deep love we have for one another might fade away with it.
I don't think that's necessarily the fear.
glimmer. It's back. Looks like we found the right answer, Nikki. There it is, on that photo over there.
We are going to have
Let's
another
take a
part
look.
to the story. Will this be the death? Outfit already equipped, whatever that means. Beyond poetry. I will investigate this in a second. I guess what I'll say to that final line... It's probably like a fine interpretation. Verse Haven. Sun-kissed ideas, soft and free, chasing leaves in the mellow breeze. What in the world is this house? This is... Hey, there's another table. There's gonna be another book. Hang on, meta-analysis, meta-analysis. Table 1. Right here. Table 2. Table 3. We got a table 4. This is the finale. It's even got a
The
chair.
slumbering frostbow behemoth. The verse on the page reads...
I think that's the baby there. It's hard to tell if that's just part of its arm.
The ground's veins began to tremble, and mottled horns sank into the fields. New, green branches broke through the soil, transforming into verdant shade.
Act 3. You're actually still here, Melotti. I said Melotti, not Melody. There's a picture. Someone took a picture here with them. Oh, the butterfly. Is this... This is the new one. Which one is this? It's not on the banner, right? It's the outer thing from the shop? The dress from the event? Hang on, let me make sure here. Not you. Not you. Are they all in the shop? I know we looked at both of the things she's wearing. Where is it, though? No? Maybe it was the Deep Echoes? I'm going crazy. I remember talking about the leaf dress. Oh, the leaf dress is from the Starlit shop. That's what it was. Where was the crown of... And this is the Lulica wings, I think. I don't know where this headpiece comes from. I know where the little flower comes from. I have that. But the big leaves, I don't know if I have those. This is a nice tie here. I think this isn't part of this dress. It's just a separate arm piece, probably from a 5-star. Because it flows all the way back down here. Diagonal for this, too. It's gonna mess with me. I really want to try to super quick find that wide flower dress bottom. Here, it's this. Okay. I know where everything comes from now. Good. Because those are some good pieces. I am jealous. It works well. This dress is just puffy enough for this stuff to work. I wish I knew where this comes from. Oh, this is also Artist Cat eyes. I didn't notice that. Very cute. Okay. I'm here, Melotti.
We're back.
Melody. I keep
Melody's
saying your
over
name
there.
wrong.
Melody, you came back?
I did. I've come to see friends, new and old. It's been so long since I've seen it sleep so peacefully. Thank you.
We were hoping to find another way, but it...
Papa is a kind behemoth. It knew its life was coming to an end, and it didn't want you to worry or struggle for nothing.
So the thing I'm thinking about is it possible that Melotti is the baby behemoth? I don't think so. I think she's just calling it Papa the same way you would when you're talking to a child. You'll say Mommy and Daddy to a kid, even if they aren't your parents, obviously, because that's what they refer to them as. I think she's just using that same theory talking about the child. I still don't think she's human, though. I think she's some kind of entity that exists either only in the storybook and she's a person who lived in the past and that we're experiencing her past. I don't think she's the behemoth.
The little one was its only concern. I just don't know how the poor thing will manage from now on.
It'll grow up strong. Love heals wounds and gives courage too, doesn't it? Besides, behemoths are naturally independent creatures. The little one's calmed down quite a bit since you've been away.
Has the young behemoth really made peace with Papa's passing? I can't help but wonder if we could have done more to help.
It probably... Well, I was gonna say it's probably not intelligent enough to be able to make peace in a traditional human sense, but it does seem to be able to, at least by Momo translations, conduct thoughtful speech, which is an interesting thing to think about. Momo talking with animals in general is an interesting implication on the mental abilities of animal species in this world.
I know the behemoth is young, but it has such a strong sense of life for its age. It's just not quite ready to face the truth yet. But this day was always coming, whether we liked it or not. All we can do is be there for the little one.
You seem to know a lot about behemoths. More than most scholars and adventurers, even.
You're quite the curious one. But my story with behemoths began with a bit of curiosity, too. When I was little, I was fascinated by behemoths. I'd hide away and watch them for hours. My interest in them continued as I got older. I eventually discovered that they sometimes follow the sound of my songs.
Wow! Who knew they had such an artsy side?
If we're ignoring the intelligence, which is important, would it... I don't know, because most of the time songs in nature are used to attract mates. I don't think the behemoths would be, like, thinking it was a mate calling to them. My idea is that it would be a creature who's calling more creatures, so the behemoths would think that it's more food. Although we have been told, and I don't believe it, but I think we've been told the behemoths are herbivores. At least it was implied that they were herbivores when we first met them. And I don't believe that to be true, but I think that's kind of the idea people go with, that behemoths can kill humans, but they don't necessarily hunt humans or other creatures, and they eat fruit instead. So, why would they be attracted if they weren't looking for more prey? It could just be curiosity, because animals can have natural curiosity to things they're unaware of. It just, more so when they're at the top of the food chain, because they have more leeway. They aren't immediately scared of other hunters finding them. So behemoths probably do, at their size and stature, have the freedom to go around looking for problems. So maybe they're just curious, and that's why they came. Which could be considered artsy. I don't hate that by Momo, then. I've talked myself into accepting that.
I've traveled far and wide these past few years, learning as much as I can about them. I've even named every behemoth I've ever met.
That's very helpful, then. I'd like to know the name of the two next to us, so I can stop referring them to as young and old behemoth.
And this frostbow behemoth's
Hesper.
name is Hesper.
It sounds familiar. So there might be some type of implication to the name, but I don't remember it right now. I feel like it is like an old story name.
So Papa is the little one's special nickname for it?
That's right.
I still remember when I first met it. Every step it took was full of vibrant energy.
Melotti, you're giving away that you're not actually like 30, and that you may potentially be hundreds of years old.
It loved roaming around at night, chasing glimmers in the woods and gazing up at the stars. I named it Hesper after the shining starlight. Unfortunately, even the brightest stars will one day burn out. Melotti. But at least they still cherish this land. Their story isn't over yet. Let's find a place to sit. I'll tell you the rest of the behemoth story through a poem.
You really love writing poetry, huh?
Poetry helps us remember. If one day you feel there's someone, something, or even a fleeting moment worth remembering forever, maybe you'll want to write it into a poem too. Before we have to say goodbye to Hesper, please listen to my poem. Follow me. This is where I often come to write and find inspiration.
We're gonna sit, like, on this? Sorry, I'm a bit ahead of you. Oh, I'm getting itchy just looking at us walk through the leaves. Itchy, itchy, itchy. I see those dewdrops. We're finding a place to sit. Is there a place to sit up here? Oh, this way. Okay. Oh, over there. I should just look at the quest marker, I suppose. Looks like the edge of the world. Oh my goodness. Big cliff drop-off? It looks like their little fire pit. That's what we're going to. And one of the big birds that are really hard to pet. I guess I do have time to grab this dewdrop. Hang on, let me walk ahead of you here. Collect this fruit. Don't mind me, I'm just jumping into this giant tree. So I can collect magical particles that'll give me a drum outfit. And up we go.
The shells of pendulum blooms may appear dry and fragile, but they're surprisingly tough. You'd have
Okay,
a hard
I'm
time
back.
breaking one open.
True, I have to grow big to do that. I don't want to grow big right now, though. I'm walking with Melotti. Whimstar somewhere. That bird probably takes me to it, so it's probably up on top of a tree. Oh, where's the... I think she just walked through the snapshot. That's why it disappeared? Yeah. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't take me into a cutscene when she stops walking. Okay. Oh my goodness. You have an ice wand? How'd you get an ice wand? I know there's a couple wands. I don't remember that one. Oh, and this is the new 4-star. It's so cute. It's dyed like such a bright purple, too. You have the legs from the 5-star, too. What is this? Hold on, my brain. I think I've forgotten where everything is. I need to reintroduce to my brain. Where is that outfit? That is the 5-star. For some reason, I thought this dress was a 4-star. But no, this is the 5-star, and then that's the legs for it. You do have the wings, too. This looks like a purple, and I don't think there's a natural purple like this from the variants. So I think this is dyed. This is also double forward braided hair. Very dark makeup. Not the makeup that comes with it, I believe. I think other than the hair and makeup, I think all of it is the pieces from the set. Obviously, I can't see the shoes. The magic wand, though. This doesn't come with a magic wand, I think. Yeah, it doesn't come with a wand or anything like that. But very, very cute. I like it a lot. Obviously, those are pretty good Eureka's for this, too. Because of the color. If you change the color, they wouldn't make as much sense. But very pretty.
Melotti, we're ready.
Now then, where shall I begin? A behemoth's journey begins with separation. When they walk alone into the storm, they truly know loneliness. vanishing quickly, like dew in the morning. Loneliness haunts like a shadow.
She definitely controls the wraith things. Sprite things.
Takes root in the soul. But this loneliness gives them a deeper understanding of farewells, more romantic than even poetry. Where the journey came to its end.
Came, not is about to come.
A lifetime returned to dust. Springs an elder wood, watching over the clumsy first steps of the young amidst the bloom. The source of reincarnation comes from a time long ago when the gods still lingered. I listened as the Great One sank into the flowers, and the ground shook in its reply. New shoots grew, touched the air, and started swaying. And the forest, it sang along. It sang the whispers first heard after final parting. Its song rang out across the land.
I don't know what that symbol is.
Echoes returning back to us, where we hope to meet again.
She did use the word reincarnation, but it still could potentially be the meaning I mentioned earlier about the Mother Terra stuff, rather than it being an actual return to life. Are we teleporting to Shell Island? What is this loading screen? No, we are just here. Okay. We're back so soon.
Looks like the glimmer didn't leave us a question this time.
Maybe they think we fully understand now, so they sent us back?
Momo, there's one more table. We can't be sent back yet.
You know, with all this going back and forth, I see life and death pretty differently now. Especially after hearing Melotti's poem. The way that behemoths turn into trees after death to keep protecting the forest makes Papa's death seem a lot less scary and a lot more hopeful.
Okay, so it is the interpretation I was talking about with Mother Terra, not the, like, Buddhist. Well, in Buddhism you can turn into a tree, can't you? I think. Maybe that's only certain types of Buddhism have reincarnation into, like, plant life. It might only be animal life. Some types might only be human life, honestly. I just don't know enough about variants of Buddhism.
The death of a behemoth is much more poetic than a human's. I used to think they'd vanish just like us, that their existence would fade over time. But instead, they take root in the forest, becoming tall trees that protect the land and everything they love. Their love isn't simply memories, stories, or influence. It's much more tangible. It's a legacy filled with hope.
When you put it that way, I'm a little jealous of those behemoths.
Okay, that might be a little far.
Even if we don't turn into trees after death, we have our own ways of passing things on. That's what life is all about. It's precious because it's finite. It's incredibly vibrant and worth protecting for generations to come. When you look at it that way, death doesn't seem so scary anymore. Because our lives, our loves, our thoughts, and even our civilization will live on after we pass away.
Kind of like before, it's like close enough.
I feel like this will be the last time.
Hey, I was right.
We'll bring this story to a close on this journey.
That's so
It
funny.
landed on the manuscript. Let's go check it out.
So I'm having very similar feelings about this ending to this one, where I'm not perfectly aligned with Nikki's thoughts on it and what she's saying, but I think it's close enough that I can, like, give it a pass. The idea of not being afraid of death isn't exactly the takeaway I would say this gives. You should be afraid of death, but it's the idea that death isn't just scary and that it does have value in that sense. And I've talked before as well, in recent times in the story, about my feelings on immortality as a superpower and things like that when it's been brought up before, the idea of living forever, and the fact that it's objectively better to live forever than to not. That is, I still believe true even after this discussion, because I don't think it relies on the same things as this. I think a valueless eternal life has infinitely more value than a valueful finite life. But a lot of the times with those conjectures and stuff, it's also only... Can I do this without looking at that? I think we looked at this one. If it's only one person getting immortality, you get, like, all of the benefits of everything. Oh, we haven't looked at this. Oh, very pretty pose. This pose... This is also the 5-star dress, obviously. It's got the elf ears, which I'm so jealous. Stop making me jealous. She doesn't have the... Maybe this is the wing. It's just because the light sources here are so, like, exaggerated. And, like... I don't know what the term you'd use for this is. I know there is a term in photography for this effect. I just don't know it. But very, very pretty photo. I was gonna say, is this the pose you get for Timeless Melotti? No, this is, I think, different. Yeah, her foot doesn't kick as high up in that. Her foot's pretty low to the ground here. Yeah, she steps forward. And it's not this one either. This is like the flyaway pose. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, did I leave a like? Hang on. I did. Okay, good, good, good. That was a very pretty photo. I'm sorry I gotta sit down for this. I can't read it. There we go.
Seems like it's a Sprout-born Behemoth observation journal?
And it's one of the ones that are brown, the bigger ones. The ones that are bigger than Nikki.
The night grows brighter still, as countless stars ascend, telling timeless tales of life that has no end. And this unending story is a poem in itself.
Potential final time, opening the book. Still alive, still I always try to say Melotti.
It's so quiet tonight, and the stars are so bright. I wonder if Papa can see them too.
A star falls, and a new one takes its place. Papa can definitely see them.
I keep trying to say Melotti as Melotti, because the spelling throws me off. So every time I see her, I know how to pronounce her name. I've just been saying it wrong because I'm not catching myself fast enough. Feeling like Gaia. Honestly, looking at it too, this is an amazing outfit. This is the hair from the Scarecrow outfit, right? This is the crown from the free 5-star we got for the previous event. This is the water Eureka, which is... This looks like it's ears, but it's part of the Eureka, I believe. The feathered wings. This is the wings from the 1.5 outfit. The sword, obviously, from the birthday. Oh, this central chest piece as well is same as the crown. It's from the 5-star we got for free. This is the archery leggings, I believe. But I always forget every single time if this is the archery top or if it is the gigantification top. The way you check is just by clicking this and looking at it here. Okay, it is gigantification. I forget every time that that's what it looks like. Very pretty. Can I pet him? I think that's a symbol that means he's already been pet. Pet, 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 pet. I don't have the brush out for some reason. I also didn't change my clothes. I guess because you're a story pet, so you don't give me items either. I'm not sure you exist in the real world. I think you might already be dead. I haven't confirmed it by coming here outside of the storybook, though. Melotti?
I thought only the glimmers and the starlight would accompany me tonight. Just Papa, the little one, and me, greeting the new life.
Where's Momo? Okay, there he is. I get so scared when I don't know where you are, Momo, but this flower field is so tall, I can barely see you.
These glimmers, could they just be ordinary ones?
Why do you ask?
Not ones that she's summoning. They're not moving.
It feels like they've been deliberately guiding us. Do you remember that mysterious poetry book and the glimmers we told you about?
I also said during the song at the campfire that she was purposefully making images using the glimmers. I think she has conscious control over them.
They were the ones who brought us from the forest cabin to this place, guiding us to listen to the stories here. Whenever an unsolvable question popped up, they would send us back.
We disappeared right after you finished reciting your poem. Didn't you notice?
Where is the baby, too?
Disappeared? But I clearly saw you two sleeping. How did you get back?
When we responded to a question, the glimmers appeared again and brought us back here.
I still don't know who's asking those questions. Some of them were super hard to answer.
Perhaps there was never a person asking at all. Maybe it was simply an echo from within. If that's truly the case, then I believe the only possible answer is that it's the land itself calling to you and blessing you.
As in Mother Terra? Or potentially the behemoth themselves that have passed? If I am assuming that this is a retelling of the end of its life and not a current happening event.
This land...
But watching something die, can you really call that a blessing?
From another point of view, what we witness has never been death.
If you believe in reincarnation, it ends up being kind of a change of state rather than death. So death doesn't exist in a world where there is reincarnation. As a concept, death doesn't exist. Theoretically, at least, because you'd always become a different state after your current form ceased to exist.
Death is merely the moment when life sheds its old form and takes its first steps toward eternity.
That's interesting, too, because we mentioned this with the trees that you'd, like, eternally watch over. Trees will also grow old and die. Even if trees this large and thick potentially would exist for thousands of years, it's still... they will die. They will fade away and die. So, does the reincarnation only last as you become a part of the earth and then you would die again, or would you just continue to exist as the earth and become more trees?
Fear, sorrow, longing, confusion. These are only the prelude to that journey. In the end, love and hope compose the everlasting verse.
They're not white. They're, like, yellow or green. I think the other ones were all white we saw.
The moon tonight, peaceful and clean.
Oh, 5-star? The 5-star does fly in the promotion stuff. My computer's exploding, that's why it lagged. like the wing connection to the back just now. You can't see that when you're looking at it otherwise. I'm gonna have to read that after the episode again. Interesting. I don't know if I got the impression that the 5-star outfit, through its descriptions, was the representation of some kind of higher entity, like a force of nature. Give me one moment. I want to go see the tree. It also grew on a rock, which is interesting. I was wondering where the rock came from. And it's going to be hard to get your roots properly down there. You know what? It's a weird thing to say. The fact that it grew onto a rock makes me think that this is like a placeable object in the home. Because if it was just a tree in the ground, this feels like a object that was like designed and created as a single entity, so that it could be placed and moved. And that might be true, even though it's not a home object. It might just be true for a game design sense for them to replace the behemoth with it in this scene. Interesting, though. So Nikki took the form of some kind of representation of the force of reincarnation and granted it a faster, painless end to its life. I guess that's my current interpretation of this. And, I was right that the 4th book would exist, and the 4th book would be the death of the behemoth. I purposefully didn't want to take a break from reading the books to walk to this area in the real world. I don't know what would have happened if you did. It's the type of thing that I'm sure other girls did during their playthroughs. So, if I looked online, I could probably find someone doing it to know what would happen. I don't know. We will after we talk to Melotti here, because I think the quest is about to end, and we'll get a potential explanation. But what is your identity, then? Because I would have assumed that you would have played more of the role that I just did. Unless you... I don't know. It's weird. I still don't think she's human.
Nikki, I know we said our goodbyes, but I still feel a lingering sadness in my heart.
My lingering sadness is because my computer is stuttering so bad that I was lagging when I changed into the 5-star for the cutscene.
Is it because of the glimmers? Why does the tree that Papa became look so different from the others?
It did kind of... I don't know, like it's... Their youthful horns just became the tree instead of them being reincarnated into the tree. I don't know how I would describe it.
Maybe it's not just the glimmers. I'd like to believe it was you who brought Hesper a new kind of rebirth.
I do believe that Nikki had, like, power here. I don't think it's just a representation. Although it might be. If we are reading a situation from the past, it's possibly that Melotti is the one who did this, and we're reinterpreting it as ourselves because we're kind of taking her place in the story through the recounting.
It's so unique and beautiful. Now I know the young behemoth will always be able to find its papa.
Speaking of the little one, it seems Papa entrusted its care to Miss Nikki. Is there anything I can help with?
Momo and I don't have much experience raising critters.
I do.
Let alone something as special and massive as a behemoth.
That's true.
We wouldn't know where to start.
I have one of a bunch of different animals in my house that I raise and pet and love. I wish I had more animals, but they refuse to allow me to buy new creature homes. Please let me buy new creature homes.
Let me think. I've never raised a behemoth either, but I do know a few of their habits. Behemoths are forest creatures and can't live too close to human settlements. I do know a good
Okay, good,
spot.
good.
Maybe we can build a behemoth sanctuary for them there.
So far, so good. I love the direction they're taking. Do not introduce them into human society, please.
A behemoth sanctuary? You two can't let the little one traipse around the Elderwood Forest with you forever, can you? It just lost its family and needs a safe place to heal.
Where do I think it's gonna be, though? An area of forest that doesn't have meaningful human settlements in it, that's big enough for a behemoth, but doesn't possess a large amount of predators it would have to fight, while still containing enough food for it to survive? Maybe the area to the left of Shell Island, that big open area? And maybe the area where Kilo is? Kilo's the only thing in that upper left corner, so maybe there's room for a behemoth there? I don't know.
You're right. That would be amazing.
Totally! It sounds like a great idea.
Then let's give this project a name. How about the Behemoth Guardian Project?
Since Nikki named the project, I want to name the sanctuary. Let's call it Warm Fur Home. You know, for warm and fluffy.
Those are two wonderful names. Once the young behemoth feels a bit better, let's go visit the place together, shall we?
Yay!
After some time, the behemoth finally calms down, reluctant, bids farewell to Papa and companions, and head off to the fur home, I think is probably what it said at the end. Interesting. So we are in official world here, I believe. Because we never really exited. So this is what it looks like now. So I don't have to worry about running back, this is just where it is. So like I said earlier, I think there probably is at least one other dying behemoth, so that you can still get the materials in order to upgrade your outfit. But maybe it doesn't drop materials. That is technically possible. Maybe last time I pet it, I didn't get anything. A rainbow. Oh, and you're probably here with a friend. This is probably two girlies playing together and not one girl using the ability outfit from, what was it, 1.11? The one that lets you pose with another girl? I think this is dyed and not an upgraded version of the Purity 4-star outfit. There's like Pure Wind or something and Winds of Purity. They're named like the same thing. The one you got in 1.0 and the one you get in 2.0. And then this, obviously cute top. This is, I think, one of the cash shop tops. Dress with some tassels on it. I'm not sure. Swirly design, flat cut top with a belt on. Is it possible this is one of the ones from the boutique? I just don't remember exactly because it is like a pretty simple dress. That might be true. It is very cute though. Oh, and you got the is this the Born Flawless makeup? I feel like it is. Not the lips. I think the lips are different. Very cute though. Okay. So the reason I'm running over here, I didn't say it at first. We're not going to do this puzzle because we're running pretty late this episode. We already looked at that snapshot. The reason is this right here. I put a marker on the map. This is something I accidentally did. Heart steppies, and then I screamed because I found this off video, and I was mad at myself. So, when I walked over here the first time, it gave me a tutorial, and it said you have to be big, and this is the same as what we did in the Wishing Woods, where you finish a design by stepping it. like this. And... oh, sorry. View. Is my internet exploding now? Oh no, I can't see your thing! There we go. Adorable outfit. This is the standard banner fresh, isn't it? And then you have the Luluco outfit wings. I can't tell what your arms are from here. Let me real quick just check what your arms are. Is that? No, it's not the 4-star ones. A flower design here. And a metallic thing here. This is a Rosa, isn't it? Are these the Arosa arms? It might be. That's also the Arosa headpiece. It's not the Arosa hair, though. This is the horse hair, which was, I think, on the banner. Last update? Was it one of the 4-stars? Is that the hair from the deer summoning 4-star? Maybe. I think so. Okay, but... did I miss a step here? Is that why it didn't finish? Yes. And I get a chest. Thank you, thank you. I like her idea of a zoomed out photo. Do I have an outfit I'd want to take a picture of this heart with? Not my ring bell thing. I don't think so. I don't have a super good idea for using the heart right now. Also, before I teleport away, I have another marker on the map. There's a monster here? Whoa, what in the world are you doing?
Now that I've turned big, all the
There we go.
shrimps look so tiny. I need to be careful not to step on them by...
So I can delete this. Smudge fin. Another thing
Accident.
off camera. The reason I have these things is because they were part of Providence Immemorial, and I mentioned that in between the final episode of version 2.0 and the first episode of version 2.1, I got all the supplies for that outfit, and I think there was 3 things I collected that I never had before, and one of them was this. So now we're going to collect it so I can remove the marker from the map. Assuming that it's one of these. Was it called like a smudge fin or something?
Wow.
Is it you?
Haul.
Classic Nikki.
You're one of the left fish. Never mind, you're a right fish. One day I'll figure out which one's which. I lied, by the way. I won't. I did the funny. Don't worry, I can do the funny 2 times in a row. So that's the next thing. One day I'll do it 2 times in a row. I don't know what the cooldown on it is.
Wow, what a haul.
Right
Classic
again.
Nikki. A little fish.
No,
with
they're a
mouth
right and a
for you.
left. I was gambling that they wouldn't put a right and a left in there, but maybe there's always a right and a left together. Are you going to be a smudge fin? Assuming I'm remembering the name correctly. There's so much foam on these that I couldn't tell where the fish was. It was up here. That's why it took so long to catch. It was really far away. I think I might have thrown the rod too close to it, so it got scared.
What a haul.
Classic Nikki. A little fish. is
Smudge
no match
fin.
for you.
Okay. So, I guess this is the sanctuary. This looks like a place with a lot of building, though. Because this is steps, obviously. This looks like a house. I assume this is where we're going to leave it, because there's a little water pond there, too. I don't know. But, that's stuff we're going to find out in the next episode. I'm very happy with how this went. I loved this. I think we're almost done the quest, and then we're going to unlock, probably next episode, the actual raising behemoth stuff, and we'll start working on it and make the outfit. That's my plan. Basically, I'm probably going to make the outfit to be designed... Basically, as another fuzzy outfit is what it's going to be. It's going to just be as close as I can get to, like, behemoth fuzziness. I'm not going to try to replace its father, but I'm going to try to kind of make it work. We'll see how it goes. I see you. Oh, water walking. Very cute. It hurt not to pull this outfit back when it came out in 1.5. I do really like it. Is the top a separate piece? I assume so. I assume it's top and bottom and not full dress. It's been so long I don't actually remember. I would love to have this top, because it could probably work as a swimsuit top. I still don't have good swimsuit bottoms, but eventually we might get them. So, eyes open for 2 years from now if the outfit ever reruns. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and go. Bye.